Ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else I just forgot to mention, on behalf of the graduating class of 2014, I thank you. Now, ever since I went to my first graduation and watched my cousin Josh Bodie give his speech, I've been brainstorming many ideas of my own in hope of someday being able to give this speech myself. And here I am. Little did I know that all of that training would get me nowhere. Forgot every single thing I wanted to say, and when I actually decided to sit down and seriously write this speech, I kind of drew a blank. So I kind of broke it down. And thought it might help if I used the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. What are some necessary components of a graduation speech? And after many threats to keep it short today, what are some short components of a graduation speech? One, you need a very cliche way to start it. So, class of 2014, we did it. We've been called rowdy, noisy, knuckleheads, mean, evil, wicked, bad, nasty, cruel, unjust, unfair, flat out unteachable. I mean, our senior sweatshirts came with a warning label on it. But, if I remember correctly, we once had a good day or something and were called pretty good kids. So whatever our teachers and parents may call us from time to time, we did it. Two, you need a quote. After some thought, I landed on an old quote I once heard from an elementary classmate by the name of Mackenzie Utah. It goes a little like this. In order to become old and wise, you first must be young and stupid. At the time, I was a first grader, and I'm not going to lie, I was insulted. She just called me stupid. And being in the first grade, there's nothing worse than being called stupid. Now, however, being a little older than I was then, I'm not going to lie, I still feel insulted because I'm only 18. But however dumb these words can make me feel, I do feel that it greatly applies to a student as he or she progresses through their school. In order for us to get older and become smarter and wiser, we've got to do something stupid and screw up, and just hopefully we'll learn from it, and it won't happen again. So to all of you parents out there whose kids screw up from time to time, congratulations. You're doing something right. All right, so I've got my quote. Number 3, a good speech needs some funny memories with your classmates. And where to start with that? Well, back in the day, we had another classmate who eventually moved away, and I think I might know why. One day, in 5th grade, our entire class was in trouble for who even knows what, and had to stay in class through recess. At some point, Mr. Riggers left for a fresh cup of coffee, leaving us with only our thoughts, and that's a real recipe for disaster for this group. Anyways, this girl started to get on Nathan's nerves, and we all began to notice his face get that notorious color of red that only his can get. He stands up, and we all then know that something big is about to go down. He walks over to her, turns around, sticks his butt out, and lets one rip. Needless to say, she didn't stay at our school for much longer. We'd be back to Easter egg hunting in City Hall. One year I managed to get all 3 of the prizes. And being the good kid that Mom said I have to be, I gave 2 of the eggs to Nathan and Jake. Right in front of Doug. He wasn't too happy about that. He also wasn't too happy when we had our first sleepover at my house. We were about 8 years old, telling scary ghost stories. Me living in my turn-of-the-century old rickety house, I could come up with any load of garbage I wanted, and it was going to be believable. The next morning, I woke up, had breakfast, and I realized we're missing a body. I asked Dad. He said that I'd have to call his mom halfway through the night because he got scared. So we got some memories, and number 4 have to be a few words of wisdom to the rest of the class. You know, this all seems really weird. It feels like yesterday we would sit and watch all the high schoolers out the window on the football field playing football or kickball or something really cool like Red Rover. And Before we knew it, we were those big kids outside, watching the little kids on the playground, reminiscing all the fun times we had. And as we would finish a year in elementary, you could look down the hall and know your next class was going to be right in that doorway. You get excited in the anticipation as to how much older and cooler you get. Then in middle school and high school, the year would end, you could look down the hallway where your next locker is going to sit, still giggling in excitement at how much older and cooler it would be. But what's next? There's no more lockers to look forward to, just a doorway. This doorway leads outside into the real world. For some, it may lead to Boise State University or Cal State. For others, it may even lead to the Air Force or the Navy. It leads to that big, scary real world that we've been preparing for 13 years. And it leads to the rest of our lives. No amount of studying and test taking can prepare us for what's going to meet us outside those doors, but that doesn't stop us from making our mark in the rest of the world. So when you walk out those doors for the final time today, always remember what you learned and the great memories we shared in the lone hallway of Highland High School. And always remember to enjoy the ride. Thank you.